back. We are here to do the twin flame update. Yes, it is quite late for me. Nevertheless, we are here. So I hope you got a cuppa. We're going to take a look at the energy moving New Year's Eve over into the new year and what we see coming through. Now, I've got the Ruin cast. We are going to be using it. This is the book, Excuse the Nails. And we'll see what's coming through. Interesting. So, how are we spending the time for our New Year's Eve? You know, I had my sister and she's like, I want to go out. And I was like, yeah, Bali's no. Had a good chuckle with my sister. I was like, right, I have literally given my house an exorcism today. I want to start 2024 off with a clean slate. It's like, and she had an absolute laugh because of my comedy. It was like, look, I've literally cleaned it head to toe, throwing rubbish out. I always love setting functions up, but I always want to clear it out after, like it never happened, you know, it's gone. She even came over after the wedding and it was like, where do you get the energy? How do you clean this place like this? Now, if you can hear some racket in the background, it's my grandbaby. Another reason why, at a very temporary level, you know, I have been avoiding some of the lives is because I do have a screaming child in the bedroom next door, which soon will change. They will be going home soon. So it's been a nice stay, but, you know, getting the house back will be lovely. So how are we all doing? Are we sucking it up? Are we, you know, to the point where we're trying to just, you know, go with the flow with it? She's at that age where she's in the manipulating stage. It's like, you know, looking at me over the cot and she's like, come on, man, just pick me up. And I was like, yeah, Bali's, no, it's not happening, sister. It's like, please, no. Okay, we've got two energies. Oh, okay. We've got some things with family coming up. Oh, why do I get that as masculine's energy? Maybe. So cute. Yeah, I gave her some strawberries in her feeder the other day, and she looked like a strawberry daiquiri. Bad nana. What do we have? Okay, I don't know why we have a comparison here. I think Divine Feminine might be doing this as well. You know, you versus a karmic. But I don't know why I get. I think the energy is coming through from Divine Masculine, almost looking at, you know, when you're trying to get into a space and you're wondering whether you can have, you know, the great chemistry or the very boring, dull, and traditional. You know, we there's elements we like of the traditional, but we also want to have the funk with it, you know? Just not the whole crazy, preferably. These cards are jumping out tonight. Ooh, feminine. Yilla, look, I am tired of the status quo. Where you're at, you're like, it's all getting a bit boring. Which is good. It's good. To get to that, it's good. It's like, look. Ooh. Your guides are coming through pretty feisty. I just heard the Justin Timberlake song, and it was more in reference to Counterpart, Crimea River. Ouch. Ouch. Could it be relevant? It could be, you know, if somebody's been BSing you around, yeah, I can see. I read one of the comments on YouTube. This is getting a bit large. What am I doing here? Bear with me. I usually pull the cards ahead of time. I'll put them up on the screen, but you're getting this raw and organic, so bear with me. Come spend some time with me prior to moving over into New Year's Eve. Tell me what time it is wherever you are. I'm going to move these over. Divine Feminine, you guys have a lot of cards. I'm just going with the intuition at the moment. Okay, there can be, especially, look, I do read for the collective, so those that are already in reunion, there can be situations to do with family and tribe that are maybe cramping your style. There's also can be a theme coming up, you know, within the joint connection, but we'll get into that in a minute. There's a big shift going on here. But Divine Feminine's definitely a bit cheesed off. 7:53 a.m. Do you still look as stunning as yesterday, Giggle? You know, with your flash hair, or does it look like bed hair? Did you put it up? Did you wrap it? Is it looking bourgeois? That's the one thing I haven't done. I'll do the beauty regimes tomorrow. I did the exorcism on the house today. I did content today, the super chats. Trying to mentally prepare for the second job, because that's going to be interesting. Are you wondering what's coming up in the read chat? I'm going to grab the ruin cast out of the book and a tick, and we're going to get straight into it. We have the cards. Ruin cast. Grab your cuppa. Of course she looks stunning. We were having a chat about the Kardashians tonight. My daughter is absolutely obsessed by the Kardashians. And she said to me, "Did you know Kim is Libra?" And I went, "Technically, no." Did you know that? She's actually not a Libra. Zodiac, yes, but when you look at her chart, she has a lot of dominant Pisces. So no, actually not. Can't remember her Venus house, but she does have a lot of Pisces in her chart. Okay, let's get the ruin cast. So everyone's like, she's a Libra, and it's like, yeah, but no. I mean, Pisces is a Venusian sign. Let's not get it twisted. I bloody had it, and it's gone. Frick's sakes. And then we were talking about her daughter. She goes, "Mum, she's a Gemini." And I went, "Oh, interesting." Okay, the ruin cast. Let's see what messages in a bottle it has for us today for the joint connection. It's funny because the ruin cast is a 9, and at the moment it can almost feel like we're up in our heads. You know, the 9 energy can be to do with meditation, ascension. It can be Jupiter in nature. And again, link the energy, whatever downloads and perceptions you have of them, they're your direct messages. That's fine. Okay, so, oh God, Uranus, the astrology energy, color, white, element, fire, bird, goose, tree, yew, lily of the valley. Okay. Now, what is the mundane? Lord. Okay, so in the joint connection, and we're going to connect at each side. Misfortune, damage, shock, sudden change, short-term distress followed by long-term rewards. Now, this does make sense, and I'll explain in a minute why. Esoteric, powerful natural forces, evolution, regeneration, cosmic union, as well as warning us of potential crisis or catastrophe. It advises us to take care when catalyzing our ideas that we do not damage the very thing that sustains us on the most fundamental level. What else does it say? Any other thing that they're talking about? Okay, the reason why I said this makes sense is because the Uranus energy is linked, and we are having Uranus and Taurus go direct come January. We're also having Pluto ingress into the house of Aquarius, which is similar frequency. And so what we can tend to have at a collective level, it can at times, when it goes direct and retrograde, it can feel like a tower moment. Now, it can be like rags to riches. It could be riches to rags. But it's sudden events. It's almost like, oh, I was almost ready to do that. That can even be ending karmic cycles. It's like, I was thinking about it, and then bang, a tower comes, the carpet's pulled out, and the next thing you know, it's like, and the funny thing is, the one thing in my ascension process over the last 25 years, I've noticed a lot of times when I've had ego attached to my changes, to my life, to my twin flame path, the one synchronistic message I got very clearly, and it was like I was in ego and I was in the 3D, and it's like, no, this is the only way it can actually come about. And it was really strange because so many times did it happen to me where it was like my ego was saying there was only one road, and a tower moment would occur, and I'd be like, oh my word, like, I can't believe this has happened. But oddly enough, what it created was doors for me. And I was like, it was almost like it made it perfect over what my intuitive 3D energy could have done. Does that make sense? So if you're finding that you're facing a wall right now and things just aren't moving, ask your guides to assist you, because they can come about in the most unique ways and actually open those doors for you. If you have been meditating upon what maybe your twin needs to do, if they're not doing something, you're like, darn on it, this situation's just not changing, it's friggin' stagnant, give it to your guides, because I really do see synchronistically, especially as Pluto ingresses into Aquarius, I'm really predicting a lot of karmic cycles ending it. Now, why would that be a factor? Pluto is an old system, technically sitting in the house of Capricorn. It's been there since 2008. It also, because it is wrapping up a cycle and it's at the critical degrees, what we can find is whatever that foundation was, Mercury currently is retrograde in the same location, so we've got cracks in it. We're revisiting those circumstances. We're going to be doing things differently. Now, if we were maybe resisting that frequency of transformation, Pluto moving closer to the energy of Aquarius, it's going to bring two energies about. So it's sort of like we're a clown and we're juggling both frequencies. And this Uranian energy is almost like, well, it's almost like, okay, in order to get to my goal, I might need a bit of distress. But in the end, it's actually going to be quite big. It's actually going to be very beneficial. I've just got to get to the other side of it. For instance, a masculine and karmic relationship, if they're being very 3D and they're looking like, this is tradition, Capricorn, this is my role in society, this is what I have to do. Oh my gosh, I'm going to lose a lot of money. I'm going to be the bad guy. Whatever that circumstance is, the shake-up in that dynamic is really coming about, and it's going to be quite intense. So if we have been stuck in our ego and we've been lying to ourselves, even though it could be our emotional body is like, I'm really hating this, but I must be crazy. I have a house, I've got kids, I've got da. But if the vibration isn't in alignment with it, it's going to really intensify that circumstance. Now, it's funny because the crowning energy was really oozing to me a comparison that divine masculine was making in correlation to the spiritual connection, the energy of this connection. So I feel they're comparing notes with the circumstance, and I kind of get, because we've got one a very traditional energy and one sort of like how would I put it, an adulteration energy, but it's the chemistry, it's the spark. Now it's like they're putting the notes and they're like, how can I have the chemistry with the person? And the connection of something very solid and very traditional, and something very sacred, which we would deem as marriage, family, i.e. Okay, so we've got these two cards sitting side by side as the crowning energies. And the first message I was getting is that, and this can also be divine feminine, really looking back at their energy and looking at maybe a connection they were in and maybe playing it small. It was like, I should be so grateful for this. So could you be spiritually comparing notes of what you went through and then looking at their circumstances and going, heck, I have been where they've been. That was a very difficult thing to come to terms with, that I should have been grateful. It was really fantastic. Or maybe it wasn't, whatever that situation was. But the difficulty in exiting stage with that dynamic and now looking into the mirror of that with them. Many times we do say to ourselves, we can't have both. Now, I'm not talking about the betrayal, because this could be a circumstance where DM is actually putting their feet on both sides of the fence, dipping their feet in both sides. I don't necessarily feel there has to be a betrayal. It just feels like a comparison of notes and saying, look, that over there, I could have both. I could have the great chemistry. I could build. But there is kind of like a dynamic at the moment where they're looking at it and going, why couldn't it have been you? Okay, that's what I'm getting. Why couldn't it have been you? But there is now this resentment towards self for investing in a circumstance and now maybe having to be the bad guy in a circumstance and pulling the tower down. There is going to be distress. They do feel that it is going to cause mess. You intuitively could be tuning into what would need to happen, and therefore you kind of do have some privy information that maybe, most don't. So that's what I'm getting so far with that. There could have also been, for those of you that did move into communication, some of you might have had, some hope returning. It could have been like the dynamic, the vibration, maybe your energy was picking up. Some of you also can feel as though your vibration is going to pick up and it's going to feel a lot better. The funny thing is, this is in the past position, so it could have been sort of like a short stint. What you're wanting to get back to is the happy vibration. You want confidence in a circumstance. It's not you're not open to it. You are open to it, but you would need something directly to change in order for that to be so. I do feel Divine Feminine is really investing in themselves at this point. And, when we were looking at the North Node and the South Node, especially moving into 2024, there is a lot of circumstances where feminines are moving into very prominent roles in life and society. So, you can be more assertive than you used to be. It can feel like you are going through the Phoenix Rising. You're shedding the old skin. You're speaking up. You're being more assertive with what you want, but you're also not going to put up with less. And it's not that you won't have love and compassion, depending on the circumstance, but you definitely are going to be more assertive with this moving forward. Okay, there's something at the heart of the matter at the moment that I feel both feminine and masculine are needing to address. I do feel that a judgment is coming, okay? So there is a judgment energy here. And, for some of you, you could really be wondering why there is a delay. If you are in communication with this individual or had been, some of you could be wondering why this individual has gone quiet. I do believe they are going through a slight sense of ascension. But again, it's almost like their soul in the ethers is battling the past. And I'm seeing them kind of clearing it out, but it's like this is how their body is it's like an out-of-body experience, but I'm physically seeing them battling memories. It's like flashbacks and things to that degree. And the term not good company, it's almost like the Hermit card in Tarot. They're spiritually really up in their heads at this point in time, but they're also making peace with it. This could be a move of house. This is also becoming more assertive, looking at things that they need to have. This can be fun, this can be confidence, and it also can be a family-related dynamic, because I'm seeing red and I'm seeing yellow on the card, and I'm seeing a death and an ending. And this does feel that it's a heavy cross to bear, but it definitely is feeling as though they're making peace with it. Does that make sense? Just going to enjoy New Year's Eve with him. We'll see what the new year brings. Enjoy, sweet. Okay, so this is more a quiet energy. I feel that both parties are really wanting. It also can be one in which this person, you could be looking at this person at this point in time, and it can be feeling as though they're even if you are in proximity to this person, it's like they're very what would the word be? Introspective. It's like they're really inside themselves at the moment. They could be very quiet, non-descriptive, not really communicating. Don't personalize it, because I feel this is very temporary. This feeling that they are having, I do feel divine feminine could be misinterpreting the silence and really feeling as though, they're going back to their old ways. You could be concerned about such. And that can be causing some angst, but there is this feeling that they're having, where an offer is wanting to be made, but they do feel that there is a necessity of maturity here. I also do feel there's opportunities here, but I still feel divine feminine as being very cautious. Okay, there is going to be some clarity coming. Some of you are saying this person's really stubborn. They don't evolve. They don't shift. Okay, what do we need to know about that circumstance, please? Like I said, don't go into the temptation of feeling you need to enable, okay? Because what I am feeling is, regardless of the circumstance they're currently dealing with, this is their spiritual test. Don't freak out. Don't get to a point you're thinking, oh, am I going to have to put the bloody white flag up again? Because I'm really not getting that as an issue. That's not to say if you choose to do such is wrong. Just what I'm saying is, this person is getting it together. They are making a plan. For some of you, you are a bit paranoid about what is going on with them. And now, feminine, you guys are coming through the gate in a very different way. You might have felt as though there was going to be forward movement. You were trying to have the courage to move forward. You also know that this person, if they're going to move forward to you, it's almost like you could be saying, hell freeze over. But we've got like a masculine and reverse. There could be a sacrifice they need to make in order to move through with you. It's not you don't love. It's that the heart space for you is here. Now, what could that mean for a bunch of you? For some of you, this could be your thoughts of how they're seeing you. But for many of you, it can be, look, something's got to change. Something's got to give. It's like the status quo, the patterns, the habits. It's like, you're ready to bake the cake differently. You really are. Could there be some insecurities that are coming up? There actually could be. And it's very natural, especially when we're entering into New Year's Eve, wondering if something's up in the hood. It's very natural to feel this. I also do feel this individual, I don't know, it's really strange. It's like your energies are swapping. Some of the messages that are coming through in Divine Feminine's read almost feel like messages from Divine Masculine. They also are very proud of you. This can be for your connection linking to maybe a group of people, a workplace or a tribe. That can be your direct family, and the sacrifices that you make. They're very proud of you for that. Sometimes they did wish, that their circumstances were like that. They feel you will never be alone. They also, they're making reference to the point that they know that you want something traditional, and that doesn't have to be marriage. When we talk about tradition, it doesn't have to be that it's marriage, but it's more, dating, progressing, right? But they're saying traditional. They're making reference to traditional. They're also making reference to really, when they do commit, what they are wanting is to jump all in. And we have till death do you part frequency. It's almost like, within a family, they want to really put roots down and have that connection with you. I feel you also maybe were hoping for such. You just ultimately really do want some fairness in the circumstance. You want something to hope for. You want something to look forward to. And I do feel some justice is going to be coming your way. This is going to kind of serve a purpose, even though you can't see it right now. This is a fresh chapter. Some of you are thinking about generating more money, and it can be for this could be for a holiday, it could be to move. But it's almost like I'm getting this gist that you've kind of, for some of you, you could have put a time frame on it. And there seems to be, it's almost like getting a ticket, going overseas. It's like and I'm hearing the term destination unknown. Now, could that merely be a metaphor for moving forward in your life? Yes, it can be. I'm getting the Cup song as well. You're going to miss me when I'm gone. But again, I just feel this person's coming back. I feel they're picking up on it. They're also making reference to the point that during the first week, your energy is going to shift. You really, at an intuitive level, some of you could experience headaches. Some of you, your third eye is going to be very active. There could be a lot of downloads that you're going to be having. I do feel there's a surprise catch-up. For some of you, this person's moving towards you. We've got a surprise and a journey, but this is the outcome card. Something's moving. I think it's because your energy is shifting. You're putting it elsewhere. I think this person's wanting to move in towards you. You just want your life back. You want your power back. You want your vibration back. And I feel the signal that you're giving. It's almost like, look, I'm bored of the status quo. I really want this to shift. Some of you could be wanting to shift your home about. This also could be a physical destination. I feel that energy is going to be pretty busy, but it's almost like how do I put it? Your energy is transforming. There is a surprise here, though, and I do feel it's with this person. This person also can ask you to go somewhere. This person also can be the one who is traveling in towards you. I also feel a guide on the other side is trying to come through and comfort you. Some of you could have a dream of a loved one who's transcended over, and they could be giving you messages about your family. For some of you, and I hate doing these messages when it's like this, right? Especially when it's like New Year's Eve. But one of them is saying, if you do have the gravesite and this is an old situation with a loved one that's transcended over, they're actually saying, come and sit with me, bring some flowers, sit with me, have a chat, ask me, give your problems to me, sort of thing. And it's almost like they are listening and they're saying, look, I am listening. Please connect with me wherever you are. I'm listening and I'm trying to aid you and support you during this time, but they definitely are with you. Now, masculine's energy, they got two cards again. So this is why I really do feel they're comparing notes and they're actually noticing the difference between you and karmic energies. Well, I'm really sorry for that, but I'm live. And you're a mother now, so it's not my problem.
Mom, I grabbed it because I got something in my hair. I grabbed it and I flicked it and it fell on the bed and I was like, oh my god! And then it started crawling.
What sort of bug?
I don't know. It was like long like this, and then it started crawling down, and I was like, what do I do? Because I don't want to pick it up. So then I had to pick it up with a baby wipe and I threw it in the bin.
Okay,
and
goodbye.
It's still alive, so will it come out?
Probably. Take it out the back and leave it there. Okay, bye. I'm live. Goodbye. I'll be finished in a minute. Can you please leave the room? It's really sad when the mother of a child is attacked by a bug, leaves the child in there, and then comes to her mother, who's the grandmother, and goes, can you save me? No. No. It's good to see, I'm not the only one that has a phobia over bugs. Yeah, anyway. Oh, let's see what's happening with masculine. She's still a child. priorities. No joke, right? In my day, she's like, Mum, hold the kid. Mum, do this. I need a shower. And I'm like, love, I did all of that. You were on my hip. I had PlayStations for you. And I don't mean the electrical kind that are used as babysitters these days. It was called boxes of toys. Transition to a next room, dump them back in the box, and go on with your day. Okay, let's see. I'm going to move masculines over here because they've got they got a lot going on here. Oh, they're in the thick of it. Okay, these individuals are having a rude awakening, and I feel this could be to do with revelations. I do feel a lot of them are having flashbacks. Man, I'm getting some random. We must have a Gemini in the house because whenever I have Geminis in the house, I always get channeled messages for songs. I'm hearing Florence and the Machine, Dog's Days Are Over. I used to love that song. I think they're really looking back to their past and they're thinking about the fact of how they used to be. They definitely do have a lot of chemistry with you, Divine Feminine. And even if they've pushed it down or it's gone to the back burner for a bit, this person actually remembers these situations. There you go. These situations with very nostalgic frequencies. They do want to return. I also do feel, and this prediction came up especially in the super chats, it's something to do with the next moon phase. I do feel there's going to be something quite big that's happening. And I feel it's going to be transforming the situation. I do feel their emotions are quite heightened. I definitely feel they're having issues with sleeping. So if you do know and you have an account and you're kind of watching them, or maybe this could be WhatsApp or anything like that, and they're very active, this person's really having issues sleeping. Who's this person here? There's heartbreak here because they do feel you were the innocent one in the circumstance. Those that have children, and I feel it's more the reference point to a daughter, I feel they're asking about you. Yeah, there's questions. They also feel, at times they would think that maybe you would actually move on with another person, even though they deep down do really, really, really trust you. At times they do look at you as the innocent person in this situation with them ascending, and it frustrates them. Yeah, I'm hearing the song Better Man. Some of them are feeling as though they're having to walk away from a situation that's going to cost them dearly, but they're also, it's almost like it's a given. They've known this for a while. They're like, look, it's causing me grievances staying in the situation. There's no real difference. You know, would I be better off? Would I be healthy? I'm not healthy while I'm dealing with this. So, you know, what's the difference? Because it's almost like this worry wall energy that if I do it, there's going to be cause and effect and a consequence. And again, it goes back to the ruin cast. It's like a pure acceptance that a tower may be necessary to kind of liberate them from this. I do feel they're having a very assertive conversation with an individual. This has been an absolute headache. There's been a person that's really been bugging them. Okay, is this to do with Divine Feminine here? Who is this to do with? Oh, like again, when they are, especially for those of you in communication, if they have been a bit moody with you, they get very peeved at themselves after. They do have a list a mile long. It's almost, oh, yeah, okay. Their frustration, I am picking that there is a person who has been nagging them. Now, this can be a person who is an ex. It could be an individual who is contacting them. I don't necessarily feel they have to be in a connection with them, but whomever this individual is, they're fighting with them, okay? There's conflict, there's frustration. At times, they are saying they can project that energy towards you. What they are wanting, is to be with you. Now, I'm noticing this kind of like scroll in their hand, and it's almost like a toilet roll long of problems. And look at the way they're touching their forehead. This has been playing on their mind for a while. Okay, what is this? Is this divine masculine here? Okay, oh God. Okay, whoever this person is, they're really manipulative. Whoever this energy is, and I don't feel this is your twin. I feel this is another individual, and they're quite manipulative. They see them for who they are. They definitely see these individuals for who they are. Okay, what do we need to know, please? They're making reference to it. Whenever I get this card, it always connects to a transit for me, and it's Pluto ingressing into Aquarius. They're confirming that they are aware of this, okay? Whatever you do, don't enable around that transit. Don't. There is going to be a harvest for this. There is going to be an outcome. Things will go in their favor. They're playing their cards right. But they do feel, if they fall back into this pattern, they feel this is really going to cause grievance for them. They could be trying to play nice because they feel this person is going to take them to the cleaners. Okay, what is the outcome of this circumstance, please? Interesting. This is either leaving a karmic relationship or directly. Yeah, and I do feel a karmic. This can be an old karmic as well, trying to manipulate the circumstance. For some, it could be that they have health situations going on. Another message I'm getting is this is a work situation for some, but I definitely feel this dynamic linking is going to directly impact wealth. But on the other side of it, look at that. They've just flown on the floor. It's okay. 2 are upright. Well, 2 turned. 3. Do you like the sound effects? Cosmic Jenny is my granddaughter. She's being a real gas bag. Are they trying to protect you here? Okay, they've had a lot of things going on around family. This could be cousins, aunties, uncles. This could have been old situations playing out emotionally or in the 3D. I hear the term the nice guy. Okay, here is this. There is someone here trying to put a spinner in the works. Love the sound effects. She's so cute. Share character. Okay, what do we need to know here? Some of you know who this person is. Why do I get the point that this person's a bit loopy? Some of you may have come across this person at a house, but this person is a little bit one flew over the cuckoo's nest. This person gets very jealous. They have a temper. They have a real temper. Okay, how is masculine going to handle this circumstance, please? Not well. Having to make a hard decision. This can be cutting this person out altogether. Okay, I'm going to pull another ruin cast. Should we? Let's pull a ruin card. She got the reunion card here. I think there's a bit of a showdown about to go down between now and moving into January. This will be interesting. I can't wait to do the next joint connection. I get this feeling something's about to go down. I do think they're ready for it. I do think masculines are ready for it. They're tired of it. It's driving them a bit batty. I want a ruin cast for between now and Pluto ingressing into Aquarius with the karmic situation, please. What do we need to know? Whenever I get the yawn, there's a karmic. I'm telling you, they're a bit cuckoo. Okay, now. Oh, this is very Pluto in nature. Should I read the poem? Okay, so the ruin cast is in the upright, but it's facing the opposite direction. So there is something of the past coming back, but it's like a wrap, okay? Now, I'll try to attempt in this lighting. It might look really light, but it's kind of blinding me. To read the poem connected to this ruin cast. It's a little bit airy, if you know what I mean. Torch is to every living person known by its fire. It is a clear and bright. It usually burns when the alighting rest inside the hall. Score is the curse of children, grief making a male pale. Saw is the curse of children, and the scourge of the horse and the rotten flesh. Interesting ruin cast. Tree, pine, planet, Venus, element, fire, and earth. Mundane, cunning, skill, controlling, energy, successful idea, sexual attraction, esoteric, spiritual illumination, inner guidance, reversed, which it is, but it isn't, because it's in the opposite direction. So theoretically it is. Painful, healing, cranker, ignorance, darkness. It tells us that we have the skills to move forward or develop a good idea. Don't hide your light under the bushels. By sharing our knowledge, we will receive more in return. It can be understood to mean that the application of the inner light or the kernel in order to achieve one's aim. This inner fire can also be used to rid oneself of impurities and wounds. Although this may involve some pain. may represent a gift of understanding with the quadrant may be able to receive or to give. Reverse foreshadows pain, crank of the soul, withholding of knowledge, isolation. The best that can be hoped for is a painful healing. The misuse of knowledge can result in ulceration of the soul. It was weird because I literally came across another channel the other day, and especially being a psychic medium, the personal experiences I've had, I always find it really unique to hear other people's perspectives, especially if I really resonate with them. And I'm like, I so get what you're saying because that's been my experience. And that's not to say all my experiences are the only experience. But one of the things they were talking about was really going to the other side, some things that they spiritually have been shown, and that, it was almost like this term was used. I'll try and find the video and I'll share it. But they were talking about, where the evil souls go and what happens to them. And they mentioned like a black lake, and it was almost like there was an opportunity for the soul to be purified, which really, when we do go through a dark night of the soul, it can be quite similar because we do feel such despair. Now, it's interesting, can karmics ascend and go through transformations? I do feel so. Not necessarily all karmics are very evil, negative, horrible people. They do have that opportunity, and it's a little bit like in the Matrix, how they talk about the red pill and the blue pill. It's like, it's a spiritual choice. When we do move through an element of ascension, there's no choice anymore. You're going to continue. So it's almost like once you accept the what could I say? The door. There's no going back. You're moving forward. So you're going through it. So especially what I'm seeing here is, can this be the test for the karmics? Sometimes if they have gone into a circumstance really, really well and truly knowing that the spiritual energy of whomever was having an intimate relationship with them, and it doesn't have to be a romantic one, if they are in awareness that this person's heart is not with them and they are enabling the situation, believing it's acceptable, believing it's enough, and there's an element of codependency or victim consciousness. Moving between now and 2024, should the tower fall, as per the cards have actually stated, if these individuals are, getting the three rules, which can be the intuitive energy, the near miss, and they don't do anything, they then get the tower. We were getting that with the previous rune cast. They do have an opportunity to transform here. Now, if they choose not to and they use manipulation, there is going to be a cause and effect, and the cause and effect can be quite negative for them. So there is an opportunity to turn over the leaf, to accept it, to transform. This can be by ending the dynamic and agreeing to the terms. If they don't, and it's going to be harder for them. That's the one thing I will say. So there is an opportunity for this to evolve. And when we talk about Cranker, this is almost like your spiritual energy really tearing you to pieces. And so it's just getting sick inside. So it's about having the integrity with it, knowing that they can ascend, they can move through this. The use of the inner fire is the body's way of ridding itself of toxins. It does so through fever. It is a painful healing path. It also has the connotation of knowing in a carnal sense, hence its correspondence with Venus. And the role of the morning star was more the positive energy, the evening star. You directly can see it in astrology. Yes, I have heard the other one in Kakadu. Thank you, Cosmic Journey. I'm trying to stop. So, Annie, how do we feel about the 70 uptime? Some sort of a karmic test. If you feel the energy of your twin, my suggestion would be, like, if you're in good vibe, fantastic. You can do such then. If you know that they're dealing with a conflicting situation and they spiritually are stuck, You can actually do a remote energy work on them, but you need to ask permission. So spiritually, if you're going to do a guided meditation and you're going to work on their oversoul, or you're going to aid them in somehow, you can hold the crystals that you feel they need. You can do the guided meditation. You need to be well and rested. Don't ever do this if you're not in that state. So you need to be hydrated. You need to have your aura intact. You need to be quite protected. And what you can do is a guided meditation, and you ask, when you close your eyes, you need to ask permission to approach. And if you feel somehow you can't form them in your mind, and there is kind of this kind of pushback, leave it be, don't intervene. If there is that energy, you directly can approach, and you can connect telepathically, and you can do the energy clearing there. You also can do it just by working on your own frequency. That then inadvertently clears theirs. It's a big one. I did get the Tower for my DM today. Yeah. I do think they're moving through a shift, and I think there's some major personal decisions that they're making in their life that has been causing a lot of grievance. Some of them are feeling very tired and frustrated at the personal choices they've made, and it doesn't mean they're bad people, but it's almost like, how many times do we have to pay the bloody ferryman? When can we get off? And I think Divine Feminine really feels that way too. But trust me, you'll do a lot better than others. You move through an element of your ascension, and it means you're going to be prepared more so than others. If you look back to 2017, a lot of us were sort of at the space where it was like, hey, we're waking up. People are going through this. There were a lot of twins in union. This energy with Aries, although a lot of you in 2023 may not have seen it as positive, as we wrap this energy up and we move into next year, there's going to be a huge shift. So try and keep positive. It's okay if you feel you just need to be on your own and do your own thing. It's part of the element. It's part of the energy. We're here to support you. If you want that energy, come through. I will check in with you within the new year. I hope this has helped. Do some upgrades. Keep your energy in a good vibration. Release, drink lots of fluid, and I'll see you in the new year. I'm going to go see that child and see if everything is cool bananas.